Hello, and welcome to Recent Activity, your new favorite entertainment review podcast that attempts to cover every film, every show, all at once. I am your co-host, Andrew Morgan. With me, as always, is a man who never turns down a snake venom shot, Mr. Shane Beauregard. How are you, sir?
I'd probably need one of those right now. No, I'm good. I'm good.
Are you not in touch with your reality, sir? Is that what we're doing?
I was thinking it maybe help my low back situation here. Just kind of make me forget everything, you know? Just forget I'm in pain.
Yeah, if you could survive the flight, you know, right. I guess it would cure all your ails to go there. That is a reference to Blink Twice, in case anybody wanted to know, which, you know, considering it only did 7.3 domestic, maybe it didn't. So you'll hear our views on it anyway. So stay tuned for that. How was your weekend, sir?
It was good up until recent. You know, I took a nice beach trip, just relaxed, had some fun. Weather was comfortable, even though I'm not a beach person. But no, I had a good time, and then I came back and got sick. So it was awesome. But, you know, I told you earlier, I'm sore, and I just kept thinking to myself, I thought Predator. I was like, what would Arnold do? He would just slap more mud on himself. Like, come on, let's do it. Yeah. So I'm here. I just put mud on. I'm ready to fucking go.
I dig it, man. I dig it. I appreciate the effort, too. And always can quote Arnold anytime in any situation. But, we have a ton of movie reviews here. I mentioned Blink Twice. We both saw Strange Darling, which I can't even find the box office results on. I guess so few theaters had it, but somehow we both saw it.
Yep.
I caught up with Alien Romulus, which you did last week. We're also going to touch on some streaming stuff with The Killer on Peacock. You caught that. I reviewed Netflix's Incoming, which is a high school party movie that you. Did you read my review?
I did.
Did you cheat? Okay. All right.
I did cheat. Sorry.
No, it's good. This is usually how we do it. And then I also watched the horror movie Oddity, which is like a movie that was in theaters, but is also a Shudder movie. So if you have Shudder, that is also something on the streamers that you can check out. But I wanted to start off with something that is just kind of like I can't shake it now that I've heard all these things about Ted Lasso season 4. So people get all excited because it's like, ooh, they're coming back. This is great, right? And the news came out because they signed contracts with 3 of the key players. They signed with Brett Goldstein. They signed with Hannah Waddingham and Jeremy Swift, a.k.a. Leslie Higgins. But that's it so far. And the rumors just came out today that Phil Dunster, a.k.a. Jamie Tart, is out as a regular because he has a conflict. Because I guess he's in 2 other shows, but I'm like, I don't watch him. What shows are you talking about?
Yeah, I have no idea.
Yeah, so I'm like, you should probably cancel those other gigs. But I'm sure he's under contract, so you can't do it. But here's the thing. Everyone keeps saying Jason Sudeikis has given his blessing to it, which sounds more like he's not coming back. So this show, and you know how it ended because you're a Ted Lasso guy.
Yep.
And so am I. And obviously it wrapped up the Ted Lasso story pretty succinctly after season 3. Nothing crazy where he couldn't come back or there couldn't be something else. But it kind of ended it strongly, especially with his family and everything else. But now season 4, I heard... And it kind of makes sense with who they signed first. First of all, let me lean in to say, are you in if Ted Lasso doesn't have Ted Lasso anymore?
I'll give it a shot.
Yeah, because to me, like the cast is so deep, and the show is always about everybody, not just Ted.
Right.
It just happens to be named Ted Lasso. You know what I mean? Especially as the seasons went on.
Right.
But the one thing that I can say that what it is, though, too, is it's also AFC Richmond, especially if they haven't signed Beard yet, and he was also a co-creator and co-producer or whatever on the show, as much as Sudeikis was and as much as Brett Goldstein was. So are you in if it's not AFC Richmond? Because there's some like rumors out there that they're going to turn it over to the core people taking over a women's soccer team.
Yeah, honestly, with the cat, like you said, with the deep cast it has, I'm willing to at least give it a shot. I will, because they would have to
Yeah,
pivot somewhere in the story. You know what I mean? They're gonna have to fill that gap of not having Ted Lasso there. So
sure.
I can understand that. And in fact, I heard rumors, not the women's soccer, but I did hear. I think you probably heard too. They were thinking about having a spinoff just with the owner and the other
Juno Temple.
yeah, Juno Temple. Yeah, like right
Yeah.
when it ended. So like, yeah, I, I'll give it a shot. I'll be fair.
Well, this is the weird part to me, though, too. And I'm kind of on the same wavelength as you. It's just, why still call it Ted Lasso outside of like you're just trying to retain an audience?
Right.
Like, and I guess they think he might make a cameo or two, you know, that he'll still be a part of it in some way, but he just won't be a regular.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. I just as you were talking, I was like, he'll probably zoom in some cameos. You know what I mean? Like they'll have him on teleconference or some shit like that.
Maybe, yeah.
You know. But yeah, they shouldn't call it Ted Lasso, but they will because again, it has its core audience, and they're going to go.
Right.
But then the same people are going to be pissed off because there's no Ted Lasso in it. So,
I think to them, because Brett Goldstein, if you remember, A, took over as coach, and B, in previous seasons, he was the coach of a young girls soccer team. So it'd be kind of funny if it's kind of like pairing the two, where it's like he's the coach, but he's, you know, now taking over a women's soccer team, like a grown women's soccer team.
Right.
And having them call him on his bullshit even more than like even Juno Temple did over the years or any of those things. But obviously, you know, Hannah Waddingham makes sense to like leave AFC Richmond behind, which she said multiple times that like she kind of like leaned into a little bit to the thought of it anyway. And taking along Higgins makes sense. So you have those guys in tow. And if Jamie Tartt's not there, well, then the rest of the team then can kind of drift off too, I guess, which sucks because there's a lot of good people on that team that I would love to check in with. And again, not to say that they can't. And in my head, don't you just see like all Sudeikis doing is like a Brett Goldstein calls him or Hannah Waddingham calls him, and that's all it is.
Yep. Exactly. You know? Like I said, Zoom calls, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Or at most, like, they have a pivotal game at the end of the season. He's, like, in the stands or something.
Yeah.
You know?
That's it.
Yeah. Some emotional pop somewhere. That's it. So, to me, that's what you got. I'm just surprised. And they say it's because if they want to get the thing going, they have to sign the Brits first to shoot in Britain. So, I guess that's why these three more prominently have been signed. But don't you like have to sign Coach Beard soon?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And get a writing room together because it's essentially it was Beard, Brett Goldstein and Sudeikis and Bill Lawrence, right? Or like writing the show.
Yeah.
I think there was other story editors and other people who have been involved the whole time, but those are the people. If you talk about the creators of the show, that's it. So to me, and I don't know. So that's where my brain went. I wanted to cover this first because I was just like, let me kind of work this out in my head to see where I'm at. And again, a lot of this is unconfirmed rumors. The only thing that's confirmed is those three people are coming back and there's going to be a season 4.
Right.
But, and Phil Dumpster's out.
Yeah, but I trust Goldstein and Simmons because they did Shrinking. I mean, they were working on Shrinking together, right? Am I correct in that?
Yeah, Lawrence and him were doing Shrinking together for sure.
Yeah. So like I think together, even with Beard or without Beard, I think they could at least make a show that I'll have interest in. I hope for a little bit anyway. Enough for me to check out, like I said.
And who knows? I might embrace it more because it's kind of like a bonus season,
right?
Or at least where it can take it. It's the same way as. Because I've been talking to you about it. I went back and restarted Suits, a show that I watched like the first 3 or 4 seasons, and now I'm in season 9. And season 9, it's like, it's a shell of itself. It's got like a couple core people, but then it's got, a bunch of other stars filling it out. It's more Dule, Hill, and some other people, that can work out versus, the key component, like obviously Princess there, Meghan Markle. She's long gone, and I forgot what his name. I wanted to call him AJ Hinch, but I'm like, wasn't that a football coach? But his name's something like that. The guy who played Mike. Mike Ross, who hasn't been in I think he stopped at season 7 or whatever. So the last 2 seasons are like everybody else. So if it's like anything like that, I'm like, okay, well, I'm still watching that show and it's good. So cool. Let's keep rocking. But that's good. I'm glad you're on board. I also have to do a check-in with you. Speaking of Apple TV Plus amazing shows, I sent you the thing that said Slow Horses season 4, which is soon to come out, is debuting on Rotten Tomatoes at 100%. Now, you told me that you were watching it.
I was.
And I also remember you saying that your significant other was liking it more and that you were falling asleep on stuff, which I thought was sacrilegious. So where are you with it? Are you going to be ready for season 4 when it comes out?
Listen, since season 4 is coming out like in a week or so, I don't know if I'll be fully caught up.
You son of a bitch.
I know. And honestly, I don't have an excuse because there's no, outside of Bad Monkey coming out once a week, I don't really have any other show except for I made a promise to someone and they've been on my ass for like a year to watch Succession. And I was like, all right,
okay,
I'm going to start Succession. Like, because he literally said, if I
and
see
it's
you
not me, which is hilarious.
It's not, but he's been telling me, and he's like, if I see you next and you haven't watched this, I'm going to be literally pissed off at you. So I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
So,
I think you'll like it. Have you started it?
1 episode.
Okay.
Right. So no, I have not really started.
Yeah. Listen, man, it's got enough jokes and swearing on top of the business stuff that I think you'll be engaged. So, did you enjoy said first episode?
I did. But you know how it is with us. It's like the newest, shiniest show comes out, and then Succession just keeps getting put like on the back burner.
So hard.
You know, and then I'm finding out like I'm rewatching fucking Breaking Bad or something other than watching Succession.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like I have ADD when it comes to that stuff. So I need to focus.
Yeah, I know. I do the same thing, obviously, because I burned through 9 seasons of Suits. And this is the thing for our audience at home. Like Shane and I keep track of how many movies we watch in a given year or whatever. Not like old movies or anything. Just the number of movies we saw that calendar year, current movies, 2024 movies for this year. And Shane's been ahead of me all year. And I keep going, God, I got to catch up. Like, I was just on vacation and I'm still behind this guy by like 10 movies or whatever. and I just go, God, what do I have to do? And I'm like, oh, I should probably not watch 9 seasons of Suits.
That would help.
Maybe. Also, honestly, for anyone who is a baseball fan, I am a New York Mets fan, as I am wearing a jersey of them right now. But they're supposed to be not competitive right now, but they're competitive. So I gotta support my boys and watch my Mets baseball too. So basically, if the Mets sucked, traded off their team at the deadline, like some people thought, like that's how this season might go. And if I didn't get looped into 9 seasons of Suits, I would probably be right there with you, I think.
Yeah, you would be. Yeah. But, we choose our own path, and you chose the path of 9 seasons of Suits, so.
Yeah, and I don't regret it. It's a good show. It's my stories. Like, for how much I never watched soap operas in my life or anything, there's always, like, that one show that's a little more dramatic that you're like, this show is not really what I dialed up for, but I'm good here. I need my saga. I need my drama. I need something. And I'm not I don't watch Grays or any of these things or whatever, like, some people do. This is my version of that, I guess, where I'm just like, I'm going to see who we're suing this week and, how the firm is going to come apart and, who's being named senior partner. Like, I need to know these things. All right.
That's right. Stand by your convictions, man.
Exactly. Speaking of standing by your convictions, you told me the unfortunate news that has not yet manifested that you were going to have to see The Crow. And you were fighting it because you loved the original and you were very hesitant to watch this one. And that was before this weekend happened. Now, this weekend happened and The Crow made no fucking money. Nobody saw this movie and then proceeded to, at I last looked, had a 20% Rotten Tomatoes score.
Yeah, it still does. And I will be seeing it Labor Day. So thank you very much.
I can't wait to be on the mics with you fresh off of that shit. So, but now, like, you weren't able to use that ammo to dissuade the person in your life who wants to watch this movie with you.
Nope. Because one, if it comes from a person who doesn't see a lot of movies, you know what I mean, doesn't read the internet and doesn't read reviews, it's like...
Sure, but you don't like work that conversation into like, you know, you're like hanging out at dinner or you're like watching a show, just hanging out and you're like, oh man, did you see this? Like, oh. And you just show her your phone where it's like The Crow is the biggest bomb of all time.
You know, I normally would do something like that, but again, I figure I owe her. I owe her.
Okay.
On some movies that I know I dragged her to before, and she's like, "What am I doing here?" Except for
fair enough.
Yeah, so I'm ready to. I'm willing to bite the bullet on this one.
Is it harder or easier now that like it's not like the world embraced this and loves it, and you're like, "Ooh, I'm gonna have to be torn whether I'm gonna actually enjoy it," or is it better now that people have been rejecting it?
It's better now, to be honest with you. It really is, because now, like, I didn't have any expectations beforehand. Now I have, like, zero expectations. Now it's almost kind of fun, like I'm walking into a Mystery Science 3000 kind of movie where I can just pick it apart as it's going on.
Yeah. Well, from what I hear, part of the backlash is that they changed aspects of it, or they were at least, from what the director said, more faithful to the book.
Right.
Or, like, the graphic novel, excuse me.
Yeah.
But a few notes before this. I don't know if you read any articles or things that the director has said or anything.
A little bit.
Okay. So, well, first and foremost, it got a B- cinema score, which actually sounds reasonable, right? But it as far as like comic book superhero-ishy type movies, this is on par with the likes of Dark Phoenix, which everyone rejected. The 2019 Hellboy reboot, and the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. So all like kind of notoriously reviled, comic book products. So there's that. And then the director, Rupert Sanders, talked to EW about like the backlash to his movie, and essentially he told people to go outside and touch grass. Like he was basically telling people they're like basement dweller booger eaters, essentially, without saying those exact words. Like I actually kind of dug it. He was like, I think a lot of people are very active online and not so active in life. I was like,
yes,
oh,
I can stand by that.
Yeah. And he was like, get out and do something and have less time throwing stones. And I was like, okay. I also appreciated this line from him where he said, which goes for a lot of like remakes and rebooting and everything else. He said, I haven't recorded over anyone's VHS. And I was like, good for you. Like, if you're going to like be bold about your shit, that's the way to do it. Be like, go watch the other movie. I didn't ask you to watch this one too. I mean, yeah, it'd be nice if you gave it a try, but don't like just immediately dismiss it because it's not the same movie you already love. If you already love it, fucking go watch that shit. That's cool. Right. So can't hate that.
No, based on those statements, I'm glad I'm seeing it Labor Day now. I say that now until I get out of the movie, but
of course,
no, I fully stand behind those statements, man. Like,
especially where does Skarsgård land now on your sexy boyfriend list? Like your Tom Hardy's,
he's not. Yeah, he's not prison boyfriend material yet.
Is he climbing? Is he like knocking on the door now because of Boy Kills World and some other? And John Wick 4.
He's knocking on the door. He's not. He's a little young for my taste, but he's knocking on the door.
Fair enough. Yeah. And you got to support your other guy. Although I haven't seen Grillo in a while, so
no. Last time we saw was that Hulu movie we reviewed like a month ago, 6 weeks ago. The Lights Out, 2 months ago maybe. I watched it.
Oh, you did.
Night.
Yeah, you watch it. Yeah.
Some sick.
Yeah. No, it's a good call. No, I forgot about that, which tells you.
A lot of people did, so it's okay.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. All right, so let's get into some of these movies that we caught up with. I don't know exactly what order you want things, whether you want a quickie Alien Romulus or go right into the new stuff for the weekend, but fuck it. We'll start with Blink Twice. Even though it didn't make a lot of money, it made $14 million worldwide. So that's not going to cut it. Though it is getting pretty solid reviews, a 7 IMDb score, a 76 Rotten Tomato score with a 68 audience score and a 66 Metascore. So it's pretty solid. That's, average-ish kind of scores, at least are a little above average scores. So this was Zoe Kravitz doing her directorial debut. And of course, seeing a lot of people, Channing Tatum renaissance continues, I guess, as he's kind of been making the rounds in the last few years, being in several movies. I kind of start like Dog was even a surprise hit for him. He had the Magic Mike sequel, the
XXL, I think.
Yeah. I always forget whether it's XL or XXL. And then, of course, recently with the Deadpool Wolverine, amongst other movies. So he's kind of on the comeback here, as well as starring Naomi Ackie, Aaliyah Shawkat from Arrested Development, as well as many other projects, of course. Also has Christian Slater, Simon Rex, Adria Arjona, Haley Joel Osment, and Kyle MacLachlan from Twin Peaks making a fun appearance in this one as well. I guess fun, maybe not the word, now that you've seen it. But it's cool to see him in this, in something so strange. If people obviously don't know about it or haven't seen it, this is a kind of a dark comedy, psychological thriller, mystery kind of a thing about a tech billionaire, Slater King, who is Channing Tatum's character, meets a cocktail waitress, Frida, at his fundraising gala. He invites her to join him and his friends on a dream vacation on his private island. As strange things start to happen, Frida questions her reality. And the original title of this movie was called Pussy Island. So I guess the strength of that title did not succeed, but you can at least point to kind of what kind of movie this movie is. Like I said, Shane, this is a movie that is getting well reviewed, but nobody saw, but we did see it. Mm-hmm. What did you think about Blink Twice?
In a nutshell, first, it was okay. Like it had elements that I really liked, right? And it did hook me at the beginning of the movie, but like we said briefly, it reminded me too much of Get Out, much of Get Out. Where it kind of almost took me out of the movie. And honestly, like I kind of got upset in the first screenshot of the movie. Like, why does this movie need a trigger warning? Is that what we're doing now? Like, did you get that on your screening? Like, come on, man.
Oh, yeah. It's on all of them. And honestly, I wonder if it's a backlash to the Blake Lively movie. Where it's like they sold that as kind of like a, hey, have your girlfriends come out and watch this, and then it's all about domestic violence, and they're like, sorry, we sold you a different bill of goods. But
I guess. But no, getting back to the movie, I thought the cast was good. I love Christian Slater. It was good to see him in something, movie-wise.
Him at the end of that movie had me
funny.
laughing.
Yeah, I was dying laughing.
Yeah.
It had its funny parts, but as far as like the whole mystery of the island, it kind of fell apart during the second act for me. Once we found out I don't know, they had some good bones to the movie, and I did like the third act when people just started going batshit crazy. When they all started, like you mentioned, they all started drinking the snake venom. They got the nosebleeds, and boom, they're off and running. Right. But I thought sometimes this movie hits you too over the head with the whole male power, male white power, boom, boom, boom. Like it was a fine movie. I didn't hate it. I enjoyed enough of it that I walked away thinking, okay, it's not bad for Zoe Kravitz's first filming. I thought Channing Tatum I'm a Channing Tatum fan, not a huge fan, but I liked him in this role.
I did too.
Yeah, it's not my favorite. Like Logan Lucky's like my favorite Tatum role, but like this is like a good comeback, like a real comeback for him, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I like 21 Jump Street too, and some other ones, but yes, absolutely. I do like him when he could be a little more cheeky, and still like kind of flex his muscles a little bit, literally and figuratively. So I'm with that too. I have the same feelings a lot about this movie. I was always waiting for another shoe to drop, like another layer to it to kind of match what Get Out was, if you're gonna ape it like that. So I feel like Get Out was a little more, I don't know, nuanced and had a little more style to it. And this movie felt a little more repetitive and maybe a little thinner. I was waiting. There's a speech kind of time at the end where Tatum has the upper hand in the chaos where he has people tied up and all these type of things. And he has a moment there to kind of almost define what the movie is and about. And he makes it about like forgiveness.
Right.
And I was like, that's not really what I was hoping to hear about this movie. Like, and there's no counter speech either to be like, about, not being able to do this to women or anything. Like, so in a way it's like a different tact version of a Get Out, but it has the same structure essentially, an out of sorts thing being like, there's something else going on here and there must be some kind of reason for it. And here's the reason. And, and to kind of show the abusive dynamic in this, I totally get all of that.
Yep.
And liked all of that, quite frankly. I was not complaining. But I did feel they had a moment there to maybe say a little bit more, or at least cement what their viewpoint was with this, instead of just kind of like presenting just a freak out movie, like a psychological thriller freak out movie. So I think that's what I was waiting on, for it to be a little deeper, a little bit more edgy, or a little bit extra. And I think it was just, for a movie that's only like an hour and 42 minutes or something, I thought it kind of was spinning its wheels at times and felt a little like thin, like it was like dragging almost a little bit. Mm-hmm. Almost like they could have gotten to the ending quicker if this was what was going on. So, because they get to the island pretty quick.
Yep.
So if you're gonna make the island the mystery and the whatever, like, I think they either could have done more early on, like developing the characters and maybe some of the tones and themes a little better before they got to the island, and then did it.
Yeah,
that was my thought process.
I think you hit the nail on the head when you said like it's missing a layer. Like it is. It's a little too superficially clean. Like it just needs that extra layer of depth of writing or character building or something within the movie. Yeah. And you're right, because the main message they kept touting was forgiveness and forgetting is a gift. Like, okay, like whatever.
Yeah, which is like speaks more to like therapy and mental illness, but that's not really what they're talking about in this movie a lot.
Exactly, right.
And if they are, it's kind of a mixed message at best.
Right.
Because everybody has different thoughts, and then those thoughts are delivered by the people who are the most heinous.
Yep.
So what am I supposed to take away from that? So that's where I got kind of like mixed up in my brain over it. But again, I liked the setting. I liked the act. The cast is great. Even just seeing guys like I thought Simon Rex was excellent in this. Like, he keeps like surprising me. He likes to do these little oddball roles, and I think they suit him quite well. And I think there's a new movie on streaming called like Greedy People or something. Did you see this? It's Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
I saw it. I didn't see the trailer for it, but I did see like a promotion for it on Facebook. Yeah.
So it's basically like two cops, an accident happens when they respond to a call at like this woman's house or whatever, and they find a bunch of money and then frame the murder, like frame the dead body, on somebody else, and then kind of, as cops just kind of like take the money and try to hide the crime and all these other stuff. And they interview Simon Rex, like they interrogate him as one of the things because he knew the woman or whatever. And like, he's like, yeah, I would come over and like dance for her and do this. Like he's doing all this like crazy stuff. And I'm just like, God, why do I love Simon Rex? So anyway, like this is after him being in Red Rocket, where he got good reviews. Like he's been in a lot of
making
fun
a renaissance
stuff, man.
Yeah, he's talking about someone making a comeback.
Oh, I know. Yeah, for MTV VJ, that wasn't even a great one. And then to have a career afterwards is pretty amazing.
I did laugh at Haley Joel Osment's speech about like the girl getting the app and like he explained the app. I thought that was a funny scene for him. Yeah, it has some moments of comedy in there, dark comedy, but just not enough sprinkled.
Yeah. Exactly. Sure. Where you can't. I don't feel comfortable saying this is a dark comedy, but it does have enough comedy in it that like is helpful to the movie. But yeah, so where did you land on a grade? Because I think this is the hardest part for me, because I do like aspects.
I do.
And I don't, I love my cheat codes, but I'm kind of torn on this where I'm like, is it worth? Sorry.
If you use a cheat code, I'm gonna guess you want to go with 3.25.
That would have been the one.
Yeah, I'm going with 3. I'm a flat out 3. I'll rip the Band-Aid off of it.
It just feels low.
Yeah.
Like and again, I don't know. Because I'm thinking of like other things that I gave 3 or 3.5 in the year, and I'm starting to be like, well, it's kind of not a 3.5, and it's kind of not a 3. So, yeah, you're right. I am stuck in that cheat code. I am. 3.25 it is. Because fuck it, it's my show. I don't care. Because do you get what I mean though?
No, I know what you mean.
Because if I'm, what did we say was, I'm just thinking even like last week or something, or even recently, like I gave Deadpool Wolverine 3.5. And it's like, I know they're not comparable movies, but like, I don't know. Even stuff maybe we're about to talk about, coming up next. Well, here, actually, I'll dovetail it nicely. Strange Darling. You caught this too.
I did. Fresh.
And this movie is getting better reviews than Blink Twice, just to put that out there. It's got a 7.8 versus a 7.3. It's got a 97 Rotten Tomatoes score with an 84 audience score and an 82 Metascore. After I saw this movie, I thought those numbers were a little high, but I enjoyed myself. I thought it was an interesting movie that I thought about because it's a twisty movie. It's a hide the football movie, but I thought it was a pretty obvious hide. So I didn't like go, oh man, the twist. You're never going to see the twist. It's like, I was like, no, I saw the twist. Because otherwise it would have been pretty stale-ish to be just, okay, it's this guy. But yeah, I thought it was very good I thought it kicked above its coverage. It was such a very low budget movie. It's a very good idea. And I thought it was well executed. I just think it's, again, maybe a little thinner and a little more basic than people are giving it. Like, people are giving it way more credit than I am. So I'm curious to see where you landed on that one. Where I say all that, but to say I would probably give this a 3.5. And I don't, we always talk about like you could give the same score to 2 different movies, but one is maybe better than the other. I would say that this is, it's tough because Blink Twice, I think, has a better, I don't know. It plays more like a studio film, like it feels more solid, like it's better produced. But I think, again, because it has muscle and money behind it.
Right.
So, and obviously it has a very known cast and a veteran cast. And this one, I'm curious. Tell me what you think about Strange Darling, and then we can kind of parse the scoring.
Overall, I really enjoyed this movie. I liked it a lot. I did.
Okay.
I thought at times it knew it was like a low budget and it tried to be like too artsy, you know what I mean, with some of the stuff it had. I love the way the movie was shot.
Well, it loves Brian De Palma.
Yes.
You could tell that. And by the way, to also say that this is shot by Giovanni Ribisi, the actor of note. Which, by the way, when you close your eyes, like, what do you think about Giovanni Ribisi? Like, he's such a character actor. Like, what first comes to mind? Because to me, it's 2 movies, and one of them is Not Kind. So I'm curious to know which movies pop into your brain for Giovanni Ribisi.
Shit. Get back to me on that.
Okay.
Yeah, get back to me on that.
Can I tell you mine? And then
go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So it's The Gift.
Okay.
Which is the Sam Raimi movie where he's like a prominent, very weirdo character that shows up at the end. And then The Other Sister.
Okay.
Are you familiar?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Him and Juliette Lewis playing mentally handicapped couple of sorts.
The one that comes to my mind, and I don't know why, because it's not a great movie, and it's an ensemble movie, but I always think of Boiler Room. I don't know why.
Sure. Okay.
I always think of that movie, and then I always think of him like in bit roles. So like,
yeah,
I think he was in an episode of My Name Is Earl. I don't know why that sticks out to me, but like,
he seems right for that
because
it's the same accent he uses in The Gift.
Yeah. In fact, he was in 6 episodes of My Name Is Earl. So I always think Earl, and I always think Boiler Room.
There you go. Okay. That's a little bit more generous than maybe where my brain. Like he's good in those roles that I'm talking about. It's just one of them is just like a, God. I think it was a Gary Marshall movie.
It was,
where it was just very saccharine and very weird and yeah, not the movie you want to probably be like second on your IMDb. That's all.
Right.
So anyway, sorry. Go ahead. Strange Drama. You liked how it was shot,
I liked the way it was shot, and I loved the performances. I thought Roscoe from Reacher was great as the psycho.
I was about to say, I'm glad you put her that way because, like, I literally again know her from like two things, and I think this makes her elevated her quite a bit.
It really did. And I've always kind of liked Kyle. What's his name?
The guy who they faked out.
Yeah. Kyle Gallner.
Which, by the way, we're going to see him soon because he's going to be in Smile 2 as he was in Smile 1. And he was like the, spoilers for Smile. But like, he's the, quote, survivor, I guess, of that, as much as if you know the story of Smile, like there is no survivor, I guess. He's just the last patient. Yeah. So and apparently he's in the trailer for Smile 2. I just didn't put that together. Did you notice?
I did not notice, to be honest. I did not put that together.
So you've seen that trailer though a bunch, right?
I have.
So the last kind of frame where someone gets hit by a truck and then they smear the blood on the road?
Yep.
That's him.
Okay. Did not piece that together at all.
I was Googling him and researching, and that came up. So I was like, oh, okay. Yeah.
But yeah, I thought Roscoe was great as the killer, or as the psycho in this role.
I will look up her name. I know her name's something funny. It starts with like a W, right?
Like Wilma Fitz something.
Willa Fitzgerald. Yeah.
Fitzgerald. Yeah. She was great. I like the cat and mouse aspect of this film. Like you, I kind of saw the twist coming. But I guess maybe you probably figured it out a little before I did. I like the appearances by Ed Begley Jr. and Barbara Hershey as the Mountain People.
Can we talk about the oil painting? Did you notice the oil painting?
I did notice that.
I fucking laughed so hard. Oh my God.
I thought that was great. Overall, I just really enjoyed this film. And there's some, and I'm an ass sometimes, but like details, especially like women are, I don't want to say the last girl, but we thought, whatever. The fact that she probably weighs 115 pounds soaking wet, there's no way she's dragging him down the hall that easy. And listen, folks, if you get shot in the ear, you're not walking or running anywhere. You're stumbling over yourself because you can't get your equilibrium.
Yeah, you're so disoriented, you can't do anything. Yeah. No way. Yeah.
But put that aside. For this kind of film, I enjoyed it. I did think the nonlinear chapter aspect to this enhanced the viewing for me. If it was a straight linear movie, I don't think I would have enjoyed it as much. So I do like how they broke it and went back and forth, kind of like a la Pulp Fiction. They went back and forth with the chapters, and I think that definitely helped this movie out. But overall, I really did enjoy this movie, and I'm glad I saw it, and I did like it more than Blink Twice. I gave it a 3.5 when I was done. A solid 3.5.
Yeah, and that's why I said I think that's why I'm so iffy about the scoring, because I do like this movie better than Blink Twice, probably by a smidge.
Yep.
Because again, I think it at least has more elements of things I like, I guess. And for all of it, certain things, like I said, where you can see the De Palma stuff. And quite frankly, as the way they shot it, did you think it looked like a Jim Cummings movie? Like, those kind of low budget ones he does, like that he's always in, like whether it's Snow Hollow or the Beta Test or some of these things. They said in the beginning of this movie that they shot it on 35 millimeter. And I was like, really? Because I was like, it looked digital.
It did.
And I don't know what that says about the quality of cinematography, I guess, or whatever, or how they shot it in particular. But yeah, I wasn't like, oh man, yeah, I could tell. Or whatever.
Same boat. I couldn't really tell.
It didn't wow me.
I couldn't tell.
Yeah. But they did that traditional split De Palma thing in the hotel there. The I forgot what they call it. Split I don't know what it's called. It's something where like you split it where both things are in focus, even though they're in two different planes. So yeah, that's a classic De Palma thing that he does. But yeah, so I think it has a lot of style in spots, and I think her performance, basically there's nobody who's bad, but there are certain things that just seem indie film-ish, that it kind of, shows its limitations at times. But, I thought it was a good time. And this movie is not really out wide. Like I said, I can't even find a box office count on this, but it's surprising that you and I both had it where we are.
Yeah, exactly. One quick thing that bothered me too is when she hid in the freezer. Like, they showed her hiding in the freezer. Yeah. They didn't show her dumping this shit out in the front lawn. Like, like he found the frozen turkeys and shit. I'm like, why would you dump that on the front lawn? And then
I thought it was a poor execution.
Yeah. And then when they showed the scene of her taking the jacket, getting in there, she didn't take anything out of the goddamn freezer. I don't know if they just lost that during editing or like what happened there.
Yeah, I could see that. And
did you think
like,
the same thing? Like, did you think
I
the
did.
same?
Oh,
yeah,
I did.
okay,
yeah. Well, especially with the contents. I didn't look a second time. If anything, I was looking to see, like, does she still have the jacket on? Like, how does it like look? And yeah. I was too concentrating on that instead of like, are the turkeys still in there or whatever, or like how much she took out of there? Because again, she's tiny, so like, does she need to take everything out? Could there be some stuff still in there? But like, is that smart? I don't know. So it's a iffy planning. The one thing I also did kind of like roll my eyes a little bit at is like how committed he was to saying "here, kitty, kitty." Like so many times when like he shot multiple things, went out through it and said it like he's like, oh man, she's gonna love me saying this. He like had to say it so many times. That's where I laughed at that. Also, oh yeah, if you don't want to be found in the woods, maybe don't smoke a cigarette. Like smoke is probably a bad idea if somebody's trying to find you.
I thought the same thing. She was so hard being quiet. All of a sudden, she's lighting up a cigarette. I'm like, what the hell are you doing?
So, yeah, there was a few. And I will always enjoy this movie for a couple of things. One, I mentioned already, the Ed Begley Jr. oil painting where he has the super long hair and it looks ridiculous. And I think it's hilarious. And then the other part is that cocaine is like partly a hero of the movie.
Yes. Yes.
So like, casual sex, no. Cocaine, yes. So like whichever part of the dial you're more interested in, sorry, that's kind of how the movie goes.
I thought the same thing. I'm like, wow, he's really trying to counteract his ketamine.
Yeah, exactly. Also, I liked seeing the guy from Breaking Bad there be a cop again, too.
Yep. Yeah. That was a nice touch at the very end. I liked it. Again, solid movie, man. Solid movie.
Yeah. Barbara Hershey, for some reason. I was like, what the hell? Yeah. But I think, if anything, that's going to come out of this, and it seems like it's Willa Fitzgerald being as prominent as she is. So that's good for her. I enjoy that. Let's move a little faster here because I think we got a lot to get through. The Killer, you caught this on Peacock. It's a remake by the same director, which is an oddity in this world, I guess. But it's not getting as well reviewed. It's got a 5.7, 56 Rotten Tomato score, and a 59 Metascore. So kind of iffy scores there. So how did it work out for you? I know you were looking forward to it a little bit.
It's an iffy movie. The scores indicate it, man. Like, John Woo, I feel like is stuck in the 90s as far as his action sequences go. And
even what was it? Silent Night?
Yeah.
That was him, right? That was his last movie.
Yep.
So like, yeah, even that had a lot of like, oh, I could kind of tell the John Woo-ness, and like he's still stuck in that same style, which again, why let John Woo be John Woo?
Yeah,
but,
it is fine, but like a lot of the action movies we get today, it like almost pales. Like he's not up to the times. You know what I mean? It's like he still does the over the top blood splatters with the gunshots. Everyone shoots with the silencer on their guns for some reason.
Sure.
Like, and the action was good.
Well, it's France,
Yeah, I like Natalie Emanuel, who was in Game of Thrones. She was Cersei's right hand person.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, I thought she carried the action very well for this kind of role. I liked Omer Sy as the French policeman that they kind of like
from Lupin.
Yeah. I thought them two together were fine. Sam Worthington's in this as well. He's okay,
Yeah.
but it's
Well,
not a bad thing to watch. Like, but it just feels like it's a movie out of its time. Like, I feel like if this movie came out between 95 and 99, I'm like, oh man, that was awesome. I just feel like it's been done so much better. And watching this, I had to laugh. I'm like, who likes slow mo? I don't know who likes slow mo or action shots more at this point, John Woo or Zack Snyder. Like
I was gonna say,
like
yeah.
every action shot in this movie is slow mo. Every single one of them.
Yeah. Well,
And
that
I'm
was
like,
how Silent Night was too.
yeah, and I'm like, come on, man! Like, does every motorcycle jump need to be slow? I guess so. In John Woo's
Yes.
world, I guess, and he loves doves and pigeons still. So, like, there's
Oh,
doves
yeah.
and pigeons
Yeah.
in this movie.
Awesome.
All that being said, it was a decent action flick. Nowhere near the original 1997 film, I want to say.
Yeah, I don't have the year exactly in my brain, but that sounds close to the
Right?
time, yeah.
So just go watch that one. But if you have Peacock, it's okay. I gave it a 2.5. It's better than the movies you watched last week on streaming by leaps and bounds, so you won't be that disappointed. But yeah, it was okay.
Yeah. All right. I can't say I'm based on all that. I can't say I'm gonna do exactly your advice, and I would rewatch the old one because to me, old John Woo, like fuck, like the Chow Yun Fat years, like goddamn, dude.
It's like we just discussed with The Crow and the director. Like, if you love the original one so much, go fucking watch the original one. No one take over your VHS tape.
Exactly.
It's kind of the same thing.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna go rewatch Hard Boiled instead. Thank you. That's how I take my John Woo. I am curious your thoughts on Incoming, which is the Netflix movie I covered this past week. It was done by the guys who created The Mick, which I don't know because you're an Always Sunny guy. Did you also watch The Mick?
It didn't it was okay, but overall I was a little disappointed with that show, to be honest with you.
Okay. Well, again, it's got Caitlin Olsen, who is in both of those shows, and also the kid who plays the kind of like drug dealing weirdo. He was also, I guess, a prominent part of The Mick.
Yep.
Too. So it's essentially like, here was my thoughts. I don't know if I put all of them out there. I put out a lot of thoughts obviously in my full scale review for Incoming, but any high school movie usually has stakes that are connected within the relationship of the prominent, teenage characters who are in it, whether it's your Superbads, your book smarts, or whatever. There's always something more grounded and connected, or American Pie, or any of these ones where it's like, and a lot of times they're all shock in their senior year, and college is going to change them, or where their direction in life is on their brain, all these other kind of like things. This movie is the first week of freshman year and doesn't seem to have any stakes, and just kind of wants to just have a disgusting time to like make sure that they know this is an R-rated comedy and then get out.
Yeah, no, I agree. I was a little disappointed watching this movie. Again, I thought it was super bad. I know it wasn't a high school party, but I was like, if you want a better movie, go watch Take Me Home Tonight with Topher Grace and Anna Faris and Chris Pratt,
Yeah.
This movie felt like it wanted to go R, but was kind of like held back. It like put his toe in the water, but then took it out.
I literally called it the tamest R-rated comedy I've seen in some time, because everybody in it is kind of still a good person, and almost to like an annoying degree. Like, okay, you're kind of taking the piss out of everything.
Yeah, there's no character that I really latched on to. I thought the little friendship between the three main characters, they didn't build upon that enough. Or four characters, I should say. The four.
I was about to say there's four. That's how bad it is. Yeah.
And honestly, I enjoyed the part where they stole the goddamn Tesla and they had the girl shit on herself in the back seat. I was dying when that happened.
Well, at least that makes sense to an R-rated comedy, like teen comedy.
But I like those two together during those scenes. I like their whole side story, not going to the party and dealing with what they had to deal with, and the actual parts of the movie that were part of the party. To be honest with you, I thought that shit was hysterical.
I also like them calling that guy fetus because he looks like a fucking child. Yeah.
The dude's stepdad or mom's boyfriend was hilarious. I like that aspect of the movie. It just felt like you said, it felt tame. It didn't feel like an R-rated balls to the wall high school party movie that it could have been. It just held back its reins a little bit. I did like I thought Bobby Cannavale. He was. I know you praised him in this movie, but he was okay. It just felt awkward and weird to have your chemistry teacher at this party the entire time.
Yeah, but that's good. Like, it needed something because everything else was so fucking tame.
It did. But, like, the gag stuff started getting kind of old with me, like, especially when they threw the taser in the pool or something like that, and he got electrocuted, and they're, like, throwing
it went too far.
It did. It did go a little too far.
Yeah.
I want to say a little more Caitlin Olsen in this movie.
Yeah, she's like nothing. She
two
has two scenes. Yeah.
Yep. Beginning and then the end.
Yeah, and even the beginning, there's nothing.
No.
It's really just her yelling at her kids at the end.
Yeah, that's it. But no, it was a missed shot, I will say. A missed opportunity.
It's an August movie.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I ended up giving it a 2.5. Like I said, it was watchable. It had its parts, but go watch Superbad. Go watch Take Me Home Tonight. Go watch any of the movies you just referenced before this movie. So
Yeah, absolutely. Because again, like, it's all about the relationships. I need something to hold. And that romantic relationship, quote unquote, wasn't enough to hold the whole movie because it's only like, what, 20%, 30% of the movie?
20% of the movie. At least in Superbad, you had like the best friends and they're going to different schools, but like you had that dynamic of like them breaking away, but still wanting to, like you had that friendship dynamic. You didn't have that here. It was like, oh, you two can't come in because my brother said you can't come in, so fuck off.
And when they weren't doing that, McLovin, Bill Hader, Seth Rogen, like you have this fucking like murderer's row of a deep movie of where like I watched that movie again like recently and I was like, damn, I forgot all these people were in this movie. It just it ages very well. And part of the reason, and I don't want to sit here jerking off Superbad, but like one of the things that I totally forgot that I noticed later was they didn't really have like a whole lot of like, oh look, we're in this time period and here's the music drop that makes you know that we're in this time period. They didn't give a shit. That movie is so generic when it comes to the backdrop, like, because they didn't care. They wanted to make it like so timeless, and it is, and I appreciate it. I just wanted to put that out there.
Yep. I agree with you, man. So this was a run-of-the-mill, like you said, August movie that's quite forgettable.
I also gave it a 2 because again we can't do halves, so I felt it was closer to a 2 than a 3, but it is a 2.5.
Yeah, okay.
I'll probably end up giving that on Letterboxd 2.5. I also caught Oddity. This was a Shudder movie that did have a theatrical run. It was a horror movie that I thought had a really solid trailer where I was like, "Ooh, this looks creepy as hell." A lot of like cursed object things and spooky castle-like homes in Ireland and pretty cool backdrop. The movie when you watch it though is not as cool as the trailer. And it's a little slow, it's a little thin, it waits far too long to get to like the good stuff cuz essentially it's about a woman who is murdered in her home. When her husband's not away, she's all home alone in the house, and this guy comes to the door. I don't know if you remember the trailer, but a guy comes to the door, and he's like, let me in. Somebody got into your home. I want to go take a look around, and he doesn't, she doesn't trust him, especially because he has a fucking glass eye, or whatever. So it looks very creepy. And the rest of the movie is her twin sister and her husband, kind of like, is mostly her twin sister, kind of looking for the responsible parties and trying to track down the killer and all these things. And it turns into this kind of, searching for the truth. When the truth comes out, then that's when the chaos starts to happen. But it's really slowly parsed out and there's not a ton of momentum even in the end. And they kind of end on also not a cheeky note, but it's still more like cursed object, ghost story kind of stuff. That ends with. So again, this one, it was a 2.5, where it's like it had potential. There are some good things in it, but ultimately, nah, it's fine. It's a Shudder streaming movie.
Okay, enough said.
Yeah. So again, sometimes you get Late Night with the Devil where it's like, ooh, this is inventive and whatever, and then sometimes you get this where it's like, oh, I see, this is a straight to streaming kind of a product. the last thing I have for you is I saw Alien Romulus.
All right.
Which you covered on the show last week. I did not think this was a 4-star movie, as you said, but I still think it's probably like a 3.5 because the production elements are very good. And I think I, like you, enjoyed our friend from Rye Lane there the
so
most
good.
as the android. He's basically, to me, like carries the movie. I know it's because, again, like for how much the movie maybe either tries to bill it as Kaylee Spaney's movie, it's not. Like, except for like a few moments where they really try to hammer it home at the end. It's like a war of attrition here
Right.
because like they really background her for a lot of the first half of that movie. And I know a lot of people say like kind of almost they enjoyed more of the first half and then the end where it gets a little I don't know how you want to place the monster that you said you noted last week that's new to kind of the franchise and also adds in some kind of like wink Prometheus, like connecting timeline stuff in there as well. So I think people got a little bit brushed back by those things.
Right.
Those things didn't bother me as much. I honestly thought like it was more how thin it was to get them there and how much I wanted to stay there with those people is more the issue I had than how it ended. Because quite frankly, I kind of was okay with that monster. I liked it a little bit.
It just threw me for a loop when I saw it. I was like, I don't know how I felt about it. I was like, that's fucking weird as hell. But I get what they're going with it. Like you said, it just was jarring at first. I'm like, I don't know how I feel about that.
It's fucking weird.
Yeah.
It's a weird thing to cross. But I'm like, all right, well, cool. It at least like kind of woke up the movie a little bit at the time.
Yeah.
So like, even if it's just a throwaway, which again it is, because it's like this random occurrence monster thing. It's like, okay, well that is fine for now. Cool. We didn't have to put a huge thing on it. I don't know. Like it just felt like for a lot of that early part, it's just like, do I care about these people? And they didn't really do enough, I think, in the beginning for me to care a whole lot.
Right.
So when you're getting to the end and you're just trying to make it a survival movie, it's like, all right, well, I have to care about the people who survive and why they're surviving. And I guess it did just enough for me to get there, but for me to care about the android more than the survivor, really, like, and where it's going to go from there, that's where I got a little like, all right, well, then maybe it didn't fully do its job. But they shot the shit out of it. I also think it's not as scary as it kind of builds it out to be, where they're
not.
like, oh, so that was kind of, and though I will say, for the love of fucking Christ, PSA to everyone listening, if you take your small children to a movie that's rated R like this, that is a franchise that is known for being fucking terrifying in spots, you're an asshole, and thank you for sitting 2 rows in front of me.
Yep. It happens every time, Andrew. It happens every time.
I hate Saturday night. It's Saturday night, Shane.
Yeah.
That's what it is. And this is why I so try to go to Thursday night, because Thursday night feels like the real movie fan night.
Yeah. I agree.
And then Friday and Saturday is for the normies, and that's when I get all pissed off.
But I assume you agree that you don't need to see any of the other aliens to like this. Like would work as a standalone alien film. Like you don't necessarily need to see, except for the AI we get from the original, whatever. Right.
Yeah.
Outside that one aspect,
which I was like, wow, he survived.
Yeah, I know, me too. But it kind of stands alone, and I like it. And this is definitely a lot better than the remake he did of Evil Dead. You know what I mean? Like,
that was just a bloodbath. Like that was just all spectacle. It had no substance to it. I almost walked out of that movie, I think.
Yeah. So I actually like what he did here, man. I really do. Like I said,
I could take this.
Yeah. And honestly, I told you last week I would score it higher than you because I figured you'd land at. I thought you'd go between a 3.25 and 3.5. That's where I thought your head would be at when you got out of this theater.
And that's where my head is, really. Yeah. Like, I think if the production values weren't all the way there, that's exactly what this would be a tick lower, because I just always say, like, what am I taking away? And it's either I would have had to be so blown away by the production elements to get it up to a 4, because I don't think the story is enough there for me to go like, yeah, man, like, and be charging out of the theater,
Yeah, no,
That's where my head was
I
at.
totally agree with you, and I'm not going to quarrel with you about that. I agree. I just like the characters, and I love yes, the AI from our good buddy. He was like the star of the movie, and I didn't have an issue with that. I thought Rain kind of picked it up, like you said, towards the end.
Yeah.
But he was definitely the most interesting character in this
I thought
movie.
both AIs were.
Yeah, I thought that it was great, and it didn't detract me from. Oh well, she should have. Yeah, I mean, two good performances, but definitely he was fantastic as David. Right? No, not David. What was his name in this movie?
Which one?
The AI. What was his name? Andy.
Andy.
Yeah, Andy.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I should know that. Obviously.
Yeah. No, but I thought he was great.
Yeah.
So I just like it got back to like the roots of a fucking alien movie as instead of the philosophical journey freaking Ridley Scott tried to take us on with those two freaking back-to-back movies. Like I don't need that.
Yeah. Though I ride for Prometheus more than
I do too.
movie.
Okay. Nope, I have to disagree with you there.
Because I will tell you, the experience of seeing Prometheus in the theater, there's some horror, scary ass shit in that movie that like stuck with me forever. Like that movie had way more intensity than this movie. So that's and it like had more of like the horror elements, and it really like got to me in spots. Okay. Is it a perfect movie? God no. But like, and the story can kind of fall apart. But man, are there moments where I was like, man, I'm having a panic attack here. This is like fucking crazy. There's moments in Prometheus. So I think that's where like, everybody's going to have the same 1, 2 in their particular order is debatable. But, I think you said you like Aliens more than Alien. I am the same.
Yep.
But it's super close.
Super close.
And they're both excellent. So, and then going from there, it's probably
Prometheus for you.
Prometheus in this. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Because I have to rewatch 3, and I have to see if I can get a hold of a director's cut because it's Fincher. I always want to give him the benefit of the doubt, but even he is like, that's the movie that came out is not fully my movie. So, yeah. So that's that, man. Like, yeah. So, we really ran the gamut between streaming, indie stuff, and big time blockbusters while also covering some of our favorite TV shows and some things coming up, so that should be interesting. Unfortunately, we are heading into the Labor Day weekend where it is dead. If I'm gonna see, that Megan ripoff or not, like the AI, thing. The only thing that makes me interested about that, when in the trailer the AI asked him if you want to see what he looks like, she looks like. I really want to know what she looks like.
Don't do it.
I'm like, it's got to be fucked up.
Right. Don't do it.
So, but what's my alternative, Shane? I'm going to run out of episodes of Suits, and I can't exactly bring that to the podcast.
Go see The Crow like I am.
Fuck off. I am not. If that's how I end up doing it, my weekend went awry. That's all I'm going to say.
It was a bad weekend, man.
Yeah. I would sooner, I might slip down to, I keep saying I am, go down to New York and to my Pleasantville Jacob Burns Center Theater, and because they have like some, more prominent, like kind of like festival movies that have come out in limited fashion or whatever. If anything, I got to watch The Deliverance this week on Netflix, which is the new Lee Daniels movie, which I have a very mixed relationship with his movies. So, yeah. He's always very heavy-handed and very, I don't want to call him Tyler Perry adjacent, but he's like kind of in that vein. And having this be a streaming movie at the end of August doesn't give me strength either. So I'm curious. I don't know if they're because Netflix had it at its Paris theater in New York this last like week or so. So I'm wondering if there's some early reviews that I might take a look to be like, what am I in for? But yeah. So wish me luck there. And hopefully it doesn't ruin my fucking weekend. That's all.
I hope not.
How about you? Any like besides your Labor Day excursion to see The Crow? Anything else on your brain?
That's about it, man. Get caught up on Bad Monkey. Take a dive either into Slow Horses or Succession, and that's about it. Unless something comes out of the woodwork that I am forgetting, then yeah.
Yeah, I truly don't have anything, and that's a tough beat for all of us. So we'll see how our holiday weekend goes. Have a great holiday weekend out there to our listeners, if you live in the U.S., of course. And, of course, like and subscribe and do all those nice things for us. Tell a friend, do all that. And we will see you next time, whether Shane survives the crow or not.
Stay tuned.
Yeah, for more recent activity.